Hello and welcome back. We are all back now, this time with season 3. We have new drivers, new tracks, more rounds, and it's just a lot more bigger now in terms of production wise. And this is going to be an exciting race to witness today. And I can't wait for it to begin. Now we have 1.5 seconds of qualifying left and we'll just take you over the round 3. We do have a lot more drivers. Some of them haven't been able to make it to this round, so we do have a total of 8 drivers only this round. We have a driver list of 15 drivers in total for season 3. It has expanded, it has gone bigger. But now before we start race 3 here at sorry, my bad, round 1, race 1 for season 3 at Aotodromo host Carlos Space Interlagos, uh, for to inaugurate season 3. I would love to take you through the grid order for now. So without any further ado, let's get into the grid order as qualifying is pretty much ended right now. So we have pole sitter Sai Sanjay taking P1 with a 1 minute 21.6, and Saurabh Bandyopadhyay in P2 with a 1 minute 28.2. He's still on track, so we could see some improvements from him. And we do have our reigning champion Advait Deoda in P3 with a 1 minute 28.2 as well, very close between them. Shan Ali Mohsin in P4 with a 1 minute 28.8. Vishwas Vijayaraj in 1 minute in P5 with a 1 minute 30.0, and Chetan Korada with a 1 minute 30.1 in P6. Oshan Kothadia in P7 with a 1 minute 30.3, and our first newcomer Vignesh Kadrabad in P8 was with no time for now. But now, without any further ado, uh, let's just wait for the drivers to grid up, and we will go ahead with this as soon as we can. We are a bit far from the grid at this point of time, but it just shows us that we have great action to be witnessed at turn 1 the moment the drivers arrive, and we are just waiting for a few of them to get back and get on the grid. Few of them being Saurabh Bandyopadhyay, Chetan Korada, and Oshan Kothadia. As I say that, he's just come onto the grid. So we have Saurabh Bandyopadhyay and Chetan Korada in waiting. This is an 18 lap race. We have gone up a notch and increased the race distances. The race distance for race 1 is now the race distance of race 2, and race 1 has been increased equally. So this is an 18 lap of a race, as you guys can just see on the screen, as we cannot see the cars who are pretty much an and, but as they approach turn 1 they will get bigger, and as the green flag drops they are away. We really can't see who's got what sort of a start, but they all seem to be battling amongst themselves, trying to get the inside line. Sai seems to have gotten a very good start. Saurabh Bandyopadhyay, and there's one car gone around the outside of Saurabh Bandyopadhyay. I believe that's Advait Deoda, and Shan Ali Mohsin has spun, and there has been carnage at the back of the field, and that is something that needs to be looked into. I think we're gonna have to bring out the safety car. I will just do that. And there we go, guys. We've come back with safety cars this time. Has the safety cars come out? Is my question. I don't think so. We'll just, where is it? Yeah, there you go.
Caution, yellow flag.
There we go. So now we have thrown out the safety car for this. Apologies if my dashboard might affect your view, but that's just for a moment, as now we will be having safety car restarts over here. And let's just run through the grid order as these guys try and get their cars prepared for this. There is Sai Sanjay in P1, Saurabh Bandyopadhyay in P2, Vignesh Kadrabad has made it up into P3. Saurabh Bandyopadhyay, Vignesh in P3, starting last on the grid. A really strong start for him. Chetan Korada in P4. Car looks very damaged right now. yeah, he's just gonna. He has. Luckily, we do have safety cars this time. Yeah, there you go. We can see more damaged cars and sideboards flying off with Advadio there as well. Oshan Kotharia is. I think he tried to bring the damaged car back into the pit but couldn't, so will probably tow himself to the pits now. Shan Ali Mohsin's already set himself to tow. But now, as we have a look at the front of the grid, we do have Sai Sanjay in the lead along with safety car, along with the safety car, and we're just waiting for it now. Yeah, okay. Sorry for me not talking for a while there. I was just so this is the safety car now. Let me get back to it. So we did have a preseason test yesterday, and in the preseason test we did go over the rules and regulations with the drivers, and we did bring out the safety car, but we needed our fellow admin to be in the session if while I'm streaming to make sure that someone can pull up the safety car without me disrupting the stream. So in order to do that, we needed him, and he is driving the Nürburgring 24 hours with Ron in Motorsport, or Ron in Simsport, my bad. So you can definitely check out their pages on Instagram and Facebook if you have any interest. They'll be driving in the Nürburgring 24 hours on iRacing that's coming up. But anyway, coming back to the point, that being the reason he couldn't make it, we had decided we won't have safety cars unless absolutely necessary, and was just informing these guys that yes, it was a very last moment decision, something that probably should have been informed in advance but wasn't. So it was so just to make sure that we are all clear among drivers is the reason why we have put out that message. But I believe some of these drivers would be pitting or would have pitted. I don't know why Vishwas Vijayaraj has not pitted. Saurabh Bandyopadhyay is going in the pitch. Vignesh is going in the pitch. Chetan Korada is in the pitch. Advait Deoda is going in the pitch. Shan Limousine is still being towed. So is Oshan Kotharia. So right now, this is our grid order. We do have Vishwas Vijayaraj in P2 with that damaged car. I have completely no idea as to why he did not go into the pits. But as we see Vignesh there, he's just, well, I guess he's missed his pit stop then, might have to reverse in the pit lane. Let's see what he's having to reverse. I think, yeah, he just towed himself eventually. And yeah, then Chetan Korada, Advait Deoda, they've all come out of the pit lane. Just make sure you guys don't damage your cars again is probably the best thing I could say if they could hear me. But Vignesh definitely missing out on his pit stop and losing time there. But with the safety car, I think it wouldn't make much of a difference. But as you can see, Oshan Kotharia has been done with his stop, towing and everything, and Shan Ali Mohsin is still being towed. I don't know if he's in the session. Yeah, there you go. He is in the session. Car's being fixed. He's in the car. Vignesh, unfortunate for him. I do not know how long is his car gonna be towed for. Let's just hope that he's made it in time for it to help him out with the safety car. But now you can see that the safety car lights are no longer on, which means that the safety car will come in this lap. But Vishwas has hit the race leader. What's happened there? Okay, what's happened there? That's very very unfortunate. But I don't know if Sai Sanjay is going to be able to get back his position. That is my question. He has gotten ahead of Oshan Kotharia. There are drivers in front right there. I don't know if Saison is going to be able to make up those positions. Yeah, yeah, okay, fine. He is getting those positions back, but that was. Oh! Okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna. Oh, okay. That has clearly not gone as per plan, and that needs to be taken action against. I really can't see.
Hang on, we're not going green, not going green.
And if I try and have a look at the pace car now, if I can, that is. Yeah. But now if I look at Sai Sanjay, yeah, he is trying to make his way back to the pits. I don't know. I really do not know what happened there. This is very unfortunate for the cause of racing, and I don't know how much longer the safety car will stay out. But this has given pretty much all the drivers a chance now. Even Vignesh has had to pit. He, in fact, I don't know if he told us that, but they have only one quick repair, guys. That is something that needs to be taken into consideration. And Shan and Ali Mohsin is also in the pits, so Sai Sanjay is, I guess, the lucky driver out of all this to be able to have the only driver pretty much on the grid, along with Vishwas, to have a fast repair option available. And oh, okay, yeah, just make sure Sai don't run into Shan Ali Mohsin now, and keep it clean, because this is gone terribly wrong for Sai Sanjay. I don't know what's gonna happen with the stewards later on. I'm pretty sure they are watching the race along with us, or at least watching the live stream. So really hope that some action is taken if required. And yeah, so the next thing we could probably do is go over the number of incident points, because if you guys haven't been with us in the previous rounds, then you guys wouldn't know this, that the number of incident points has a role in the championship standings. And to explain how is that is because of the fact that the organizers expected a lot of incidents to be there made, or to be there, and decided that the driver with the least number of incident points at the end of the season gets 5 additional championship points from the organizing committee, or it just gets those points. So if you look at that, then we do have size, and yeah, along with that, in the race the drivers are allowed 17 incident points before they get a stop and go penalty, and 25 incident points before they are disqualified. So that means that right now the closest drivers to getting a penalty, Sai Sanjay and Oshan Kotharia with 13 incident points each. I don't know if we're going green this lap. If we have a look, yes, we are going green this lap. And because, okay, Vishwas is blinking a lot, so I'm going to focus on sort of to get a clean visual as to what it is. But Vishwas does have a lot of damage, so this might create some interesting things at the front of the pack. But now we will have this is the end of lap number 4, so we will see some racing going ahead. But
green flag.
That Shahan's already hit. Oh, Shahan's been hit by Sai, has he? I guess, I don't know. I really can't see. Sai did have front wing damage, which looks to have been magically fixed, but that's probably iRacing doing its thing. And yeah, so the race is back on. We have Vishwas in the lead. With that damage, he will be slow on the straight, as you guys can see. Sort of is just sailing past him, and so is Adwait Deoda now, with the amount of damage that he has. And Sai Sanjay is now up into P3 or 4, my bad. P4 with Vishwas having that damage. He should get past him easily, but again, they did collide again earlier this race. Oshan does have again rear wing damage. I don't know what's really going on over there. This has this has come up to be a mayhem of a race. And the latter of that is gonna seem to be very interesting between Saurabh Bandyopadhyay, Advait Deoda, and Sai Sanjay now. Fortunate for Sai Sanjay for that incident, otherwise he would have been out in the lead, probably a bit awake, as Vishwas Bajaj might have held these guys up a bit. But definitely now Saurabh Bandyopadhyay, Advait Deoda, and Sai Sanjay gonna get into a good battle, and we have seen really good battles last season with Kartik Tharani, the championship contender previous season, with the maximum number of wins last season. Very unfortunate for him to not win the championship the previous season, but he did have a really good battle with Advait Deoda, which is now turning to be between Saurav and Advait, but Advait is blinking, so we can't see really. Okay, he's back, and Soros managed to hold them up. But in all of this fighting, there's one driver just willing these tries to either crash or continue fighting until he catches up. He's not too far behind, is he? He's just 6 tenths behind up to the other side, Sanjay it is. So something that is definitely something Sai Sanjay would be hoping for as a driver. But now he himself is very close, so I'm pretty sure he just wants to get past and then get away. He did qualify on pole by quite some margin, so we do know that he has the pace of these drivers. But again, this season, we have increased race distances, and in the previous session there was the pre-season test. Some of the drivers did come up and tell us that the tire situation gets a bit hairy, but you hear the situation between Aotodromo Deoda and Sai Sanjay was about to get very hairy if Sai Sanjay would have put his nose a little bit more deeper into Aotodromo Deoda's rear. But now all three are nose to tail going on to the main straight. This is the battle for first position, guys. This is something that cannot be missed at this point of time. And Advait Deoda is very much under pressure from Sai Sanjay heading towards turn 1 on the outside line. He will have some slipstream from Saurabh Bandyopadhyay, but he has backed out of it. Has he backed out? And now he's on the inside. Okay, I don't know what he's done, but I think Advait Deoda has been put up into what Sai Sanjay was planning, or did Advait Deoda plan this as to make a second move, going down to the next corner, that is turn 4, and he is in the slipstream but is on the outside of the double left hander, my bad. But is there going to be any contact? Lucky, but Advait Deoda runs wide and he comes back on track, so he is obliged to give that position back. Which he has in a way, but now he can continue fighting, and they've gone side by side through the double right-hander. This is brilliant racing, guys. Sai Sanjay running a little wide, breaks early, tries to make a cutback, and then Advait Deoda manages to defend and hold him off. And Advait Deoda's strategy seems to be working for now. But Sai Sanjay is not giving up. He's made the dive into turn number 8, I guess, and Advait Deoda almost runs into the back of him as he tries to get a cut back, but Sai Sanjay covers him off very nicely. This is some crazy racing that we're having. Really good to see these guys battle it out from round 1 onwards, and now Sai Sanjay is a bit free to go after Saurabh Bandyopadhyay as long as Advait Deoda does not attack him too hard. All of these drivers, remember, are real life drivers, so definitely me as a driver would start to be typing right now on the chat box to make sure that we to tell Sai or Advait, whoever I was in the placement of, tell them that let's not fight, let's try and catch up to sort of with slipstream that we are having, and honestly just focus on getting up to Saurabh, because definitely Advait and Saurav's pace is very similar. Sai Sanjay is the driver who is a bit slower out of the two, a bit quicker out of the two. Did qualify around 6 tenths faster than the two drivers. But now looking at the fastest lap situation, we do have the fastest lap with Saurabh Bandyopadhyay, which is the 1 minute 29.1, but that is kind of expected because we had about 4 laps on the safety car, and the rest of the laps there was Sai and Advait fighting, so that is why it was expected. But now looking at the incident points, things are getting close. Oshan Kotharia has already been given a stop and go penalty. There he is serving his stop and go at this point of time. Sai Sanjay is down 14 incident points, and Advait Deoda is on 5 and Saurabh Bandapadhyay is on 6. So they have kept their distance. But now Sai Sanjay has pulled away from Advait Deoda, I think, enough to be able to keep Advait Deoda out of his, thoughts and focus completely on catching up to Saurabh Bandapadhyay. And that's what needs to happen now. So Sai Sanjay now chasing after Saurabh Bandapadhyay, but the gap is increasing. I think Sai Sanjay has made a mistake because to the Sana SS, as Aotodromo has also caught up massively to him, and he did lose out quite some time to Saurabh Bandapadhyay himself. But Aotodromo again running wide at turn 4. Now the question is, can Sai Sanjay lose Aotodromo again to be able to catch up to Saurabh Bandapadhyay, or are these guys gonna start fighting again? This is gonna be a very interesting battle now. But yeah, Sai Sanjay is starting to pull away from Aotodromo again, which you guys can see. Not too much, just a little, not like the last lap. But Saurabh Bandapadhyay has lost so much time all of a sudden. He seems to have made a mistake somewhere, as he's now only 1 second. He lost, I think, about 5/10 of a second in one corner. And Advait just half a second behind Sai Sanjay will have the slipstream, and Sai Sanjay being only 8/10 behind Saurabh will also have a bit of a slipstream. So this is gonna get fruitful very soon, and really can't wait. We do have 9 laps of racing left, starting now as they cross the line and start lap number 10 of this race. Sai Sanjay taking a very, very tight line to turn 1, showing that how close these drivers are and how much of an extension these guys need to put on the limits, to how close they need to get to the limits to be as quick as they are. As we see that right now, the fastest lap right now is with Saurabh Bandapadhyay with the 1 minute 29.162, but Sai Sanjay is not too far behind with the 1 minute 29.175. Very close between them. And Deoda's fastest valid lap is a 1 minute 30.0. His previous lap was a 1 minute 29.1. Well, it clearly wasn't valid, as it would have appeared as his best lap time, but it isn't. So that is the situation here. But now Sai Sanjay has caught up to Saurabh Bandapadhyay, and now the question is, will these two start fighting like Advait and like how Advait decided earlier in this race, and will Advait get a chance to catch up to either of these drivers? Definitely Sai Sanjay is looking very strong this season if he can manage to hold on to improve his race pace, because he was always struggling since season 1 with race pace or getting involved in incidents that may not have been his fault. He was never a championship contender, but he has definitely upped his pace. He is definitely improved in his race scenarios. As you guys can see, he's now fighting for the win. And not to mention, Saurabh Bandapadhyay did a very good job indeed on the previous lap to hold Sanjay back from just 4/10 behind in the slipstream. Couldn't do much, and Sai Sanjay just simply without effort. It looked so effortless for Sai Sanjay to go around Saurabh Bandapadhyay's outside, but now Saurabh Bandapadhyay might him to get the inside, but no, he's let him through. But now the question is, does Deoda catch up Saurabh Bandapadhyay? Yes, there is only a half a second difference between these two drivers, and Saurabh Bandapadhyay is, let me check, 8/10 behind Sai Sanjay. So there is a possibility of a fight between Deoda and Sai Sanjay, but Deoda gets very close on the braking, almost taps the rear of Saurabh Bandapadhyay. We're having a wonderful race here at the moment, and this is something that you guys might not want to miss right now. The Deoda being only 2/10 behind Saurabh Bandapadhyay entering the final straight. The main straight, the prime overtaking opportunity, if you can do it right, if you can get the slipstream right, if you're close enough, and definitely something that you might want to look into. But now Sai Sanjay is pretty much away and gone by now. I don't think these guys have a chance of getting back at him unless Sai Sanjay makes a mistake, as long as they're fighting like this. or if some tragic incident happens with Sai Sanjay. I don't want to put the commentators' curse, but I have already said it. As you guys can see, there is a back marker in front. I believe it is Vignesh up ahead in front of these drivers. So that is something they have to look out to. But they're getting very, very close to Saurabh Bandyopadhyay as he does run while looking at the incident points once again. Sai Sanjay is on 15, so two more incident points, and he will have to serve a stop and go penalty. Oshan Kotharia and Chetan Korada both have 17 incident points, so uh, they have they should have received a stop and go penalty, and that is something that they will have to do it. But now Saurabh Bandyopadhyay and Aditya are on lap number 12 here, entering the final lap. My bad, entering the final straight or the main straight, very very close to each other again. Aditya needs to make solid use of the slipstream that is given to him by Saurabh Bandyopadhyay to be able to make any sort of moves. As they still are approaching the back marker, but Aditya are trying the same moves that Sai Sanjay made on him, trying to fake it into the outside to make go eventually onto the inside, which he did fall for earlier in the race. Right now, on lap number 13 of 18, this is coming out to be a very, very interesting race, and we can't wait to see the finale. Definitely now, Sai Sanjay in the lead has started to put up faster laps. His fastest lap is a 1 minute 28.6, so he is putting on the pressure now. But now, his gap. I believe he should be taking it a bit easy, knowing that these drivers fighting, so he doesn't need to push that hard. But Aditya is struggling to get alongside Saurabh Bandyopadhyay to try and make any hard moves. And also one thing that Sai Sanjay needs to keep in mind is that now that he's in the lead and he has the two drivers kind of fighting, he probably should actually start pushing less, but as is he caught up behind the back marker, he gets very close to the back marker, and the back marker almost takes him out of the, and it would have been very, very unfortunate for Sai Sanjay. But the gap between, yeah, he lost 6 tenths in that one corner, and there need to be blue flags in operation here. Not complying with the blue flags is a penalty, and yeah, has he let him go? No, he hasn't. Is he defending? Is my question. Yeah, I don't think he's defending. The gap's increased, but now between Saurabh Bandyopadhyay and Aditya, I don't think there is anything happening. But again, back at Sai Sanjay and Vignesh here, there are blue flags in action, but is he letting them by? Is my question. Okay, this is turning up to be a different incident completely, but yeah, now that Vignesh has let Sai by, and now with Saurabh Bandyopadhyay and Aditya closing in hard, who are fighting, I don't know what's gonna happen here. There are 5 laps remaining, and Vignesh is the point of talk at this point of time. If we have a look as to what happened between him and Sai. Saurabh Bandyopadhyay not too far behind. Let's try on board. Never mind, he has let them through. As Vignesh, remember with Saurabh here though. Yeah, there is Vignesh. But now with Sai, let's again go back to TV screens and back to Saurabh Bandyopadhyay as the action resumes with just 5 laps to go in this race, and definitely something that needs to be finished now, something that has to give an answer now, because Saurabh Bandyopadhyay is defending hard on Aditya and is proving it tough not to crack here at Interlagos. But Aditya trying his best. I don't know if there was contact for Saurabh Bandyopadhyay to spin. I don't know if contact had occurred for Saurabh Bandyopadhyay to spin, but Aditya seems to have had contact after Saurabh Bandyopadhyay started spinning. I have no idea as to did he start spinning on his own or not, but yeah, we can see Saurabh Bandyopadhyay with no damage. But definitely Aditya should have had damage, but it doesn't look like he has any. So For sure. He might have had a little bit of suspension damage if he can maybe go to his roll bar, because in one of the races I was part of earlier today, I did receive some suspension damage, which did disrupt me a lot. I didn't show any damage on the car, I didn't repair anything in the pits, but there was definitely some damage as I was leaving around second or straight to Spa there too. That's definitely not a place you want to have damage. But yeah, looking at the steering wheel, doesn't look like he's any hidden damages. But we wish the other having a good moment there. Probably had his heart in his mouth at that point of time, and now we're just approaching the final few laps. With now Sai Sanjay crossing the line, we do have only 3 laps left to go, and this has been what an interesting race this has been so far, with the safety car coming out on the opening lap for the first 4 laps, and then we did have amazing battles between, and then not to mention during the safety car we did have that incident with Sai Sanjay and Vishwas Gerard, something that probably will be reported I believe, and I don't think something like that should have probably gone without anything. But Vishwas is still on track, and I don't think he's coming for his damages. So if I just if I can see, yeah, his car is still the same amount of damage as it was before. If we go on the roll bar, we can probably see that. Yeah, you can just see the amount of understeer on his car. That's definitely something that you don't want while you're driving. And Vignesh is 12.8 seconds behind him right now. I wonder if he's able to close in anything, but doesn't look like it. If I'm just going to bring up the rear chase camera to maybe see his car better. Yeah, his car is totally trashed and damaged, but he is managing to hold off Vignesh. His fastest lap is a 1 minute 36.4, which was the last lap, but now you can see Sai Sanjay, the race leader, is approaching Vignesh Kadrabad here. Oh, my bad, Vishwas Gerard here, as definitely cleanly goes on the outside, definitely without anything. But Vignesh is now in the pits. I don't know why he in the pits. Has he? Vignesh has also received a stop and go penalty. Very unfortunate for him. I believe he was catching up to Vishwas Gerard, but now with just 2 laps to go, I don't think that it is possible. But now going back to the top, we have top 3 now with some distance between them, with 2 laps to go, 1.5 laps now. With these final few moments of this race, let's go on board with Sai Sanjay and have a look at the lap that he is taking. He does have the fastest lap of the race, as we have mentioned before. The only driver in the 1 minute 28th in the race, definitely paced himself out very well compared to qualifying. I think his pace has been completely a full 1 second slower than what it was in qualifying. I believe his qualifying lap time was 1 minute 27.6. Don't know the final 2 digits, but now as we start the final lap on board with Sai Sanjay, let's go over 1 lap of this, and he brakes at the end of the wall on the right, taking curb on the left, and a lot of that curb on the right for turn 2 as they go to turn 3 along left-hander. Pretty straightforward and easy flat in the cars that he's driving. It would be a very tricky corner on road cars, but now turn 4, braking just before 50 down to 3rd gear, using all the curb on the exit on the right, and turn 5 is again just pretty much simple, straightforward, flat. But then coming up to turn 6 and 7, the double right-hander, very tricky. Even these cars down 1 gear, see he has a little bit of oversteer on the exit, and then comes turn number 8, which is a right-hander, and then turn number 9, the long left-hander, pretty much a hairpin, but a longer version of a hairpin. And then comes turn 10 and 11, as he's going fast right now. And then coming up to the last physical corner, turn 12, as carries so much speed on the entry that he pretty much doesn't need to turn the steering wheel as the car will rotate on its own. And then coming up to turn 14, which 14 and 15, which is basically just 13, 14, 15, which is basically just these few corners on the straight. And as we see that, we do have Sai Sanjay winning the race in P1. What a brilliant drive from after that incident with Aditya coming in P2, not too far behind. Saurabh Bandopadia in P3, again not too far behind Aditya. What a battle we've seen between these three drivers. Vishwas Vijaraj one lap down, finishing the race right now. And Vignesh Kadrabad then coming out to be in P5 as we are watching him finish the race. He also does spin right now. Let's see how many incident points does he have. He's at 20, which means that if he gets 5 more on this final lap, would mean that he would. Oops, there you go. He's gone again. I don't think this is something that he would probably want us to watch. But Chetan Karala also finished the race, being one lap down, and Vignesh just trying to get back on track has stored himself out now. And Noshan Kotadia now the last driver to finish the race. Pretty much stand still, cross the line at around 20-30 kilometers per hour to make sure he finishes the race. And after all of this, we have had a very good 18 lap race. Even though it says finishing, pretty much all the drivers are finished, and I guess it's saying finishing only because of Vignesh not crossing the line at the end. But without any further ado, let's go through our top finishers. We do have Sai Sanjay after that epic 18 lap race, winning the race, and the other in P2 just 3.5 seconds behind Sai. He did show some real good class this weekend with the pace that he's had. He did put up the fastest lap of the race on the last lap, as we saw. We were on board with him. It was a 1 minute 28.570. And then P3, we do have Saurabh Bandopadia further few seconds behind him. A total of 8.5 seconds behind Sai Sanjay. Vishwas Vijayaraj after that lap 2 or lap 3 incident on the safety car with Sai Sanjay. I think the decision to not go in the pits was probably good because eventually Vignesh, Chetan, and Oshan had stop and go penalties. I don't know. I don't really know where Shahan lost so much of his time. If I just have a look at his incident points, no, yeah, it was just 14 points. So I don't think Shahan had any issues with that, but I don't know why he had such um, backward finish in this race. He did have strong pace throughout the race though. And yeah, then we had Vignesh Kadrabad finishing P5, Chetan Korada in P6, Shana Limosin in P7, and Oshan Kotadia in P8. But now that we have finished race 1 and inaugurated race number 1 of round 1 of season 3, I think it's time to head back out and leave you guys with the results while we prepare for race 2, which will be tomorrow at 4 p.m. Will be the practice times, and we will be live again at similar times around 6:15 Indian Standard Time. So be sure to check that out. And I'm gonna leave you guys now here with the results.